The second day of Rosh Hashanah always brings us Abraham and Isaac and Jeremiah, our prophets. He's busy. It is clearly one of the most challenging texts of the Torah, and each year as we arrive at it and read it, it just keeps striking me anew that it is a challenging story if ever there was one. I want to focus this year right at the beginning of the narrative. God calls out to Abraham, and before giving any command, Abraham says the classic word of presence, of being ready. Hineni, I am here. And then, radio silence. God delivers an absolutely unthinkable command to sacrifice his own son, and Abraham doesn't protest. He says nothing. It's really strange because just a few chapters earlier in the Torah, what happens? Abraham argues with God. Thank you, Benson. Abraham had no hesitation. He wasn't even confronted with a command. He was simply told by God that God says, I'm destroying stone. And Abraham leapt into action. Hashofet kol haaretz lo yaseh mishpat. Shall the judge of all the earth not act justly? He, of course, then bargains with God. He argues fiercely for justice. He speaks truth to power. So why here, when faced with an even more outrageous command, does Abraham fall silent? Was he bewildered? Was he overwhelmed? Was he paralyzed by fear? When we read these two stories, these two narratives side by side, it seems as if Abraham has been almost silenced, cowed into submission, stripped of the very voice that once made him such a moral giant. What happens when the one who once spoke so boldly cannot speak at all? The rabbis were deeply concerned about silencing voices. And in the Talmud, we learn that the two great sages and their schools, their yeshivot, Beit Hillel and Beit Shammai, are both called speaking the words of the living God. Their words are Divrei Elohim Chaim, even though the law in the end almost always follows Hillel. And so the question is, why are their words so important? And one of the answers that's brought is because Hillel would always first repeat Shammai's arguments before his own. He made sure that his voice was always heard. To erase an opposing voice is to erase part of God's truth. The pshat reading of the text, the simple meaning of the Akedah, is as the Torah says, a simple test of Abraham's faith, or maybe not so simple. But maybe there's something a little bit deeper we can dig out here, which is a warning about silence. It shows us the danger of submission in the face of violence, as in this case, or the danger of allowing fear or power to strip away our ability to speak. Avram's silence calls to us still. We are invited to protect our voices, even when inconvenient, even when risky. So as we open the Torah reading this morning, may we remember how precious the freedom to speak truly is. May we use it with courage, and may we never surrender it to silence, as Abraham does at the opening of this morning's reading.